Good morning. A question from our new web designer. It seems that you have a strong philosophy in your life and you already have the answers to everything. Do you have any unresolved questions about life? Okay, an interesting question. First, I'd like to tell you that my strong philosophy is only strong today. What it was yesterday, it is not what it's going to be tomorrow, and it's not what it is today. It changes, it evolves as I evolve. Meet new people, learn new things from you, from him, from her, from nature, from the bees, and the sun, and the flowers. And nothing stays there forever unchanged. That's why one of the words in the no list on the forum is being stubborn, stubbornness, because I think some people choose to believe something, and although everything else tells them that is not what you should believe now, might have been right 10 years ago but not now, they still believe the same thing. No, I don't want anything new. I don't want to change my opinion and my thoughts about certain issues. I'm not like that. I'm flexible. If something tells me what I believed is now outdated, and this is where we come back to the books. Why are the books removed from the forum? Because it isn't me anymore. It is what I used to be 2-3 months ago, but not now. So there's no need to read them unless you want to know history. And history might confuse you more because you would find contradicting issues and words. This is why I don't require you to read them anymore. Do you see where I'm coming from? Okay. So this was the first part of the question, the statement that you know all the answers to the questions. Yesterday when I read your question and I was answering it, I was thinking on the spot. That was not something I have thought about before, if our soul belongs to us. I've never had that question. That's why I liked your question and I enjoyed answering it, because it was a thought process triggered by the question, a new thought process of something that I have not considered before. This is what's interesting about it. It's like yoga for the brain, right? For the brain and the soul. And think, what do I believe? If I ask you, why do you think roses are red? Okay, well, that's not something you've thought about before, but you like the question because it makes you think, and you can come up with a theory that will belong to you. Well, not necessarily belong to, I don't like the word belong, remember? But the theory made up by you, and that is something that you tend to believe. And the answer can be anything from because God created them red, or you can come up with a very scientific answer if you know what you're talking about when it comes to biology, or you can say, well, just because it is, because they're not yellow. Okay, that's a good answer too. Whatever the answer is, that is your answer at that exact time. And if I ask you today, you might be in a totally different mood, and you might have read an article on roses. Your answer might be, well, they're not really red. They're pink, scarlet, orange, white, and whatever else, cream color. There are so many types of roses. So our answers are subject to change. Of course, I don't have answers to all the questions, but I make answers to all the questions when I get the questions as they come in. And again, I'm not claiming that I am right or that my opinion should be listened to by everybody and accepted as the truth. Very far from it. We all have our own truth. Of course, there's one universal truth, but not everybody knows what it is, and we can only sense that harming the other is wrong, so it's not the truth. The truth is that treating the other person as you would like to be treated yourself is true. Assume that. You can't argue with that. But other questions, if there is one soul or many souls, if it belongs to us, if God is above us, or God is in us, or we are God, or there is no God, that is all up to us to decide whatever we choose to believe, not to argue about, not to try to persuade the other person that they're wrong and they need to go and check with the psychiatrist because they believe what you don't, and that must be wrong. No, let's just accept everybody else as they are, in the sense of their beliefs, unless they are your property, said by you and by them, mutually agreed that they are your property, and then you can tell them what they are to believe and what they are to follow, because you are directing them in life. And if you choose to be somebody's property and agree to it and think that you want to be somebody's property, then you are probably to follow their beliefs as well. Of course, it is up to them to decide on that. They might not want to touch that area of your life. That's a different question. That's a different question. Now, questions that have not been answered yet. Questions about life. These are the questions that haven't been asked yet. Very simple answer to you. If you ask me a question, I have an answer for it. Some sort of answer. Why are roses red? Because they're not yellow. That's a good answer too. Why is life so short? Why is life so long? These are questions that perhaps I have not thought about. You can ask me questions and I will have answers for them. But the unanswered questions do not remain unanswered for a long time, because our human brain is designed to solve problems and to ask questions and to come up with solutions. That's how we function. However trivial the questions are, we are to come up with solutions. We are to come up with answers. The question in itself is provocative because it is a question. It's asked with a certain intonation and a question mark, and implies that you are to answer either verbally or in your mind. Now the question I have for you: have you been sticking to your New Year's resolutions? I've been reviewing mine and realized that I'm well on the way, probably about 20-25% there. And that's good. I think that's good progress. I still remember what they are. And some of you from your email, I see that you are also doing really well. Okay, I won't mention anything because it's not complete yet, but anyway, doing well. Now, something tells me that the majority do not even remember what their New Year's resolutions were. They might not even be watching. Now, if you have been with me when we made New Year's resolutions, check back with what they were. Try to remember what they were and see if you have followed them. And if you haven't, tomorrow is January the 1st. No, you're not watching the wrong video. I know it's March, but whenever you slide back, the next day is the right day to start. Although it's a Tuesday tomorrow, and it might not be January, it might not be the beginning of the month, but it is the right time to start something that you have committed to. So good luck for your new year. Happy New Year tomorrow. If it was to exercise, to eat properly, to be nice to people, to look after yourself, to brush your teeth twice a day, whatever your resolutions were, get back to them and start again if you have slacked off, if you have for some reason not done it. Yeah? Good. Okay, and a happy nice day from me to you. Hope to see you tomorrow.